Welcome to NFL Nexus. Today, we are diving deep into the Chicago Bears, who are staring down a massive decision ahead of the 2026 draft. Seriously, what they do next could shape their team for years to come. And it all boils down to this classic dilemma, right? Do you bet on the guys already on your roster, or do you go all in and gamble on someone new?
Okay, so take a look at this quote from their GM, Ryan Poles. This right here is the key to everything. At first glance, it might sound like, typical GM talk before the draft. But it's so much more than that. He's basically putting up a giant sign for the whole league to see saying, hey, we are open for business. When he says they could be moving up or moving back, well, that's not just one plan. That's two totally different ways of thinking. Let's really dig into what that means.
So really, it comes down to this choice for Ryan Poles, doesn't it? Path number one is all about patience. It's looking inward, right? Trusting your coaches, believing in the players you've already drafted, and just developing that talent you have in-house. Then you've got path number two, and that one is the complete opposite. It's aggressive, it's looking outside the building, saying, we have a hole right here, and we are going to give up whatever it takes to go get our guy right now.
Okay, so here's the game plan for today. We're going to start by looking at that internal bet, and we'll use Tyrique Stevenson as our case study. Then, we'll flip the script and dive into the big external gamble, that potential trade-up. We'll talk price, who they'd be targeting, and what the risks are. And finally, we'll tie it all together. Sound good? Let's go.
All right, let's kick things off with that first idea, being patient and developing your own guys. And there's no better example of this on the Bears roster right now than cornerback Tyrique Stevenson. I mean, the team put a lot into getting him, and now, well, he's heading into what is, without a doubt, the biggest year of his football life. This is where the rubber meets the road for that whole trust your guys philosophy.
So, for those who might need a refresher, who exactly is Tyrique Stevenson? Well, here's the thing you got to remember. He wasn't just some guy they took in the second round. Nope. The Bears actually traded up to go get him back in 2023. Think about that. That means the front office had so much conviction they were willing to give up extra assets just to secure him. They saw something special. And now, flash forward to today, and he's walking into the last year of his rookie contract. And you know what that means in the NFL, right? It's the ultimate show-me-what-you-got year.
And listen to what the front office is saying about him. This quote from assistant GM Jeff King is, wow, it's pretty telling. He is being super honest here. This isn't your typical sanitized PR answer. He comes right out and admits there have been moments of downs, and hey, if you've been watching the Bears, you've seen him too. But what I love is how he follows it up. He says it's our charge to help him. That's not pointing fingers, that's taking ownership. It feels like they're saying, look, we invested in this kid, and it's on us to help him succeed.
Now, this number, 40, this is absolutely huge. That is how many games Tyrique Stevenson has started. Let that sink in. This isn't some rookie we're trying to figure out. This isn't a small sample size. The Bears have 40 games of tape on this guy. 40! They've seen the spectacular plays, they've seen the frustrating mistakes, they've seen it all. And honestly, that makes this decision even harder for them. They know exactly who he has been. The million-dollar question now is, who can he become?
And this really just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's like two sides of the same coin. You look at his past and you see the high draft pick, the reasons they traded up for him, those moments of pure talent that make you go, wow. But it's also been a story of inconsistency, which can be maddening. Now you look at his future. It's simple. It's crystal clear. The word potential is out the window. It is all about performance now. Every single play this coming season is a job interview for a life-changing second contract. But even with all that pressure, listen to what the team is saying publicly. This is that same honesty, but flipped around. Even after admitting the struggles, they're doubling down on their belief in him. When Jeff King says something like, we're never going to put a ceiling on a guy's upside, I mean, that's pure GM speak for, we think there's a pro bowler in there somewhere and we haven't given up on him. It's a huge vote of confidence. It tells you that, at least for right now, they are fully committed to this developmental path. They're betting on their coaching and on him to figure it out.
So it all comes down to this one season. It is truly make or break. He's set to be a free agent in 2027, so the clock is ticking. And look, from the team's perspective, there's zero reason to give him a contract extension right now. Why would they? They have all the power, all the leverage. They can just sit back and say, okay, kid, show us. And it's not just about what he does on Sundays either. It's about everything. How he prepares, how he is in the locker room, which is why that last point is so interesting, showing up to OTAs already in great shape. That's not just a small detail. That's him telling the team, I get it, I hear you, and I'm ready to work.
Okay, we're about to switch gears and talk about that big, flashy draft trade. But before we do,
Hey, if you're digging this kind of deep dive, if this is the kind of football talk you love, do us a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button and give this a like. It costs you nothing, but it helps us a ton. And seriously, drop a comment below. I want to know. You're the GM. Are you sticking with Stevenson or are you looking to make a move?
And hey, one other thing. If you're looking for a really cool way to support what we do here at NFL Nexus, we've actually got these awesome coloring books. They're perfect for the young fans in your life, your kids, your grandkids, or, hey, even for you. No judgment here. The link is right down in the description, or you can just grab your phone and scan the code on the screen. We appreciate it more than you know. Okay, back to the Bears.
All right, buckle up. We've covered the patient approach. Now let's get into the fun stuff, the high-stakes poker game that is the NFL Draft. This is the other side of what Ryan Poles was talking about. This is when you stop waiting for players to develop and you go get your guy. It's aggressive, it's risky, and it could change everything.
And look, this isn't just me dreaming up wild scenarios here. This is coming from Albert Breer, one of the most plugged-in insiders in the entire league. He's the one who floated this idea. And it makes a ton of sense. The Bears are sitting there at pick number 25. The target? Pick number 15, 10 spots up the board. And who has that pick? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who, according to Breer, are more than happy to trade back. See how the pieces start to fit?
So let's break down the why behind a move like this. What's the motivation? Simple. It's the most important thing in football. Protect your brand new #1 overall pick, franchise quarterback Caleb Williams. Period. So what's the target? A plug-and-play, top-tier left tackle. Is the opportunity there? It sure seems like it with the Bucs looking to deal. And what's it going to cost? Well, that's the catch. It's going to cost a lot. We're talking a really, really valuable pick on day 2 of the draft.
But being ambitious in the draft isn't free, right? There's always a cost. So let's get specific. What would it actually cost the Bears to jump up those 10 spots? And maybe the even bigger question is, when you look at who's actually going to be on the board at pick 15, are any of them worth that price?
So these are a few of the prospects who could be in that range. Monroe Freeling, Blake Miller, but there's one name here that you really got to circle. Caden Proctor, the absolute mountain of a man from Alabama. And here's why he's so interesting. It's not just a guess. We know for a fact that Ryan Poles and Jeff King, the 2 top guys in the Bears front office, were right there with their own eyes watching him at his pro day. And folks, in the NFL, that is almost never an accident.
But just when you think you found the guy, you run into this, a gigantic red flag. This is from the folks at Pro Football Focus who do some of the deepest dives out there. And their take is basically a potential deal breaker. They're saying his foot speed, his arm length, they just don't scream NFL left tackle. In fact, they think he's a much better fit inside at guard. Now think about that. Would you really trade a haul of picks to move into the top 15 for a guard? That almost never happens.
And we can actually calculate the price pretty precisely. It's not a mystery. If you look at the trade value charts that all the teams use, this one's from Draft Tech, the math is pretty simple. The gap between pick 25 and pick 15 is worth about 330 points. And what do you know? The Bears' own second-round pick, number 57, is valued at, exactly 330 points. So there's your price tag. To move up 10 spots in round 1, you're giving up your first pick in round 2. And that right there is the whole ballgame. You have to put the gamble on one side of the scale and the risk on the other. The upside, the dream scenario, you get a stud left tackle to protect Caleb Williams for the rest of his rookie contract. It's huge. But the risk? Man, the risk is massive. You're coughing up a second-round pick, a guy who could be a starter for you, to go get a prospect who might not even be a tackle? And for a guy like Ryan Poles, who's been so careful, so smart about collecting draft picks, this would be a major departure from his strategy. He'd have to be 110% sure.
So here we are, right back where we started. We've gone down both roads, and you can see just how different they are. On one side, you have the patient, slow-burn approach of developing your own guys, and on the other, you have the splashy, aggressive, high-stakes gamble.
And this really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? What do you trust more? Do you trust your own coaching staff to unlock the potential in a player you already know, flaws and all like Tyrique Stevenson? Or do you push all your chips in for what you think is a quick fix, a guy like Caden Proctor, knowing that he might just be a different kind of problem?
So we're going to leave you with this one final question to chew on, because you can bet this is the exact conversation happening inside the Bears' war room right now. What's the bigger risk here? Is it betting on the devil you know, the inconsistent but talented guy you've seen for 40 games? Or is it gambling on the devil you don't, giving up a major asset for a prospect who might not even play the position you need him to? Man, there's no easy answer to that one. Let us know which way you'd go down in the comments.
Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with us here on NFL Nexus. Seriously, every time you like, comment, or subscribe, it helps us keep making more deep dives just like this one. So if you got something out of it, we'd really appreciate it. We'll catch you on the next one.